call the meeting to order for the evening of February the 10th at 7:01 p.m. With the recognition, we're on Treaty 5 territory, homeland of the Nisqually, Cree Nation, and land of the Métis. Could I have an approval of the agenda? Councillor Saw, Councillor all those in favor? Community comments, feedback. Community comments, feedback. Okay, thank you. Move on to item 5, adoption of the minutes. Resolution 2025-018. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held in council chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Monday, June 27th, 2025, be adopted as circulated. Council, administration, all those in favor? Carried. Yep. 5.2, Resolution 2025-019. Be resolved that the minutes of the special meeting of council held in council chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Friday, January 31st, 2025, be adopted as circulated. Administration. Council. All those in favor? Resolution 2025-020. Be it resolved that the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting of council held in council chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Monday, February 3rd, 2025, be adopted as circulated. Administration. Nothing further. Council. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 6.1. Resolution 2025-021. Whereas the City of Thompson wishes to maintain a workforce of executive staff that are fairly compensated for their work. Now, therefore, be it resolved that council approve the following salary increase: 2.50% retro for 2023, 2.75% retro for 2024, 3% for 2025, and 3% for 2026. And be it further resolved that council approve the executive staff terms and conditions until 2026. Administration. Council. Councilor Saul.
Yeah, thank you. I think the only thing to add is that those rates are in line with the rates that were staff, so it does align that way, and I think it's a very fair approach.
All those in favor? Carried. And 6.2. Resolution 2025-022. Be it resolved that council award the contract for the renovation of the public safety building equipment room, otherwise RCP building, to AB Builders Limited for $62,250 plus tax, with funding to be allocated from the 2024 unspent small capital budget. Administration.
Yeah, so as discussed at the committee meeting last week, the RCP require a room for the storage of personal safety equipment and devices. This room was a previously room that was damaged through a flood a number of years ago. That was currently used as storage. So we went out to Merck's earlier on. We did get a single bid, but it was multiple times higher than our estimated cost. We since reviewed the scope and went out again to our local companies and received this one response. So we are looking to get this approved and get it awarded. The RCMP are looking to get everything in place by May of 2025 to meet the arrival of some new personal safety devices for the officers.
Council? Councilor Wong?
Thank you, Chair. Just want to ask the question. We went for the tour for the RCMP building. So that time they also talking about the roof leaking as well. Is that been taken care of? Because the last few I haven't heard anything about it. I believe some of the water coming is from part of the issue of the condensation. I see the condition. There was a lot of ice built up in the corner there. So I'm wondering, are those being addressed, or it's going to be part of the ongoing project?
So
Administration?
So it's part of a larger capital project. If you recall, we did a building assessment on that building last year, so we've got all the reports back. We're reviewing them right now. So it's part of a larger issue instead of looking at just kind of band-aiding the holes. Council, we're looking at a kind of a full building solution. So we'll come back with information.
Thank you. The reason I pointed out because of I just don't want to spend this money and then later on we still causing an issue because the main issue, the root cause is not fixing. So did you just say band-aid for the time being?
Yeah, no, what we don't want to do, this room is actually, the area above this room was spray foamed a number of years ago. And the impact from rain leakage was minimized to almost nothing as a result of that spray. That work was done prior to me coming on board, and that room has been monitored over a number of years. Yes, we have other rooms that have some water damage in, Councillor. This one has maintained itself pretty dry over the last while.
So may I suggest this, because I know there's a lot of water capture there. So make sure the administration every year before fall season get someone qualified, a roofer, clean up those snow. And will be eliminated a lot of issues. That is a must. There's no other option. Otherwise, we're going to get continuously the same. So if we can do that, at least we mitigate further damage. That's the must. Thank you.
Yeah, for the last couple of years, we have been putting a contractor to remove the snow. We've also implemented some heat tracing along the edge of the roof and into the eaves troughs to help the ice from forming there to allow that water to continue to flow off the building. So,
Yeah, thank you. I see you already done.
Councilor Valentino?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Fitzpatrick. I'm going to be supporting this with the information provided. This is for the room for the body worn cameras. Is that correct? That's where they want to store the body worn cameras. So because this was a direct result of the federal government downloading this cost on us, I'd like us to capture this cost because we are advocating for what share of expenses that we are, I guess, paying as a city. So I just want to ensure that we capture this maybe as one of our recapture amounts that we're advocating for. Thank you.
Thank you. Just following up on that, I know we had talked a little bit about this, but I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. Any costs that we incur that was not in line in regards to services that we would have to have under the rental agreements, those amounts we can apply back, or is it full reimbursement or a certain percentage reimbursement?
I mean, maybe I can defer to the CFO on that.
It's based on a formula regarding the amount of space in the building that's deducted from. So it is not 100% cost recovery for the whole building. It's just for the portion that's rented from.
So would this be one of those that we would
Yes,
look at?
I already had.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All those in favor? Carried. .3 Resolution 2025-023. Whereas the city of Thompson has identified a need to replace the fire panel at the Thompson Public Library. And whereas Bison Fire Protection is currently on contract with the city for the maintenance and testing of all fire alarm systems and inspections of all extinguishers. And whereas it has been identified that funding for this purchase can be allocated from the building reserve. Now therefore be resolved that council award the sole source of the fire panel located at the Thompson Public Library to Bison Fire Protection for $14,800 plus contingency for a total not to exceed $17,000 plus applicable taxes. And be it further resolved that this project be incorporated as an early approved purchase in the 2025 budget. Administration.
Yeah, so again, as discussed at the committee a few weeks ago, actually, this panel, there were issues with this panel identified. It does not have the ability to do any remote monitoring capabilities. So in order to connect to our system that we use in other locations around the building, we would have to update the panel. So this was captured in the 2024 capital. Money was allocated. So to Bison to get a quote for the supply and installation of the new panel. There was a request for more information regarding the breakdown of the price. That was provided to council via email last week. And again, there is a bit of work to do more than just plug and play with the devices. Given updated technology, basically all new wiring has to be run through the facility for the sensors. So if you look, it's not quite a kind of what we'd expect a 50-50 split between material and labor. The labor is higher than the materials. So we're looking to get this sole source approved and get that work underway.
Council. Councilor Chung.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. When the resolution 2025-007 was pulled out from the agenda on January 19th, I have a discussion with the Director of Development and Technical Service for exploring other options. Did the Director check with other companies or third party that can provide a system that can serve both the fire protection and the security monitoring?
I did not explore other options. Again, Bison's what we've used in other buildings. Bison's are standard in alarm systems in our buildings. We want to remain consistent. So I did not look at other sources. I simply asked Bison for a breakdown of what the costs were between materials, labor, verification, and permits.
Can I continue?
Yes, Councilor Chung.
I understand that the security monitoring company can provide, example, smoke detector, seal sensor, and heat sensor, door sensor, motion sensor, and basement flood sensor, and camera indoor and outdoor on the control panel with a touch pad for fire, RCMP, and EMS, a 24-hour monitoring at a fraction of the cost, and have to committed with a few years of monitoring with a small fees. And it cost me $335 for me to install to my house, and less than $50 a month of monitoring service. And the price you bring back is no different from the first one. And why such suggestions are not being considered?
So again, there is a separation between the panel and the monitoring. What we are replacing here is the panel and all the smoke detectors within the building, all the pull stations. The monitoring, we don't have security monitoring. It's a fire monitoring panel is what we have here. So it'll be just like we have at the TRCC, at the Polaris buildings, the pool. Those are all of our buildings that are on the current system right now. So it's not a security system. I understand where you're coming from, Councillor, but we're trying to be consistent in the equipment that we install and be aligned with everyone else. All of our other panels are maintained and serviced by Bison, so that's why we're recommending to stick with Bison.
Okay, what I'm thinking is killing two birds with one stone, that's all.
Mr. Song?
Thank you. I've had previous experience with Verizon. We've had similar panels installed in some of the different organizations I deal with. I do find that, you know, their price points are pretty consistent, based on the equipment that's being installed. I'm comfortable with the slow, just based on their track record from what I know of. I do understand, always you need to compare and to get the best price you can get. In saying that, based on what we're talking about here, major health and safety, potential issues, Pfizer does have a really good track record, so I'm comfortable with this way. Thank you.
Yeah, Councilor Wong?
Thank you, Chair. I think there's a misunderstanding here. The reason we use those panels because at one time, those panels do talk to the city hall, fire hall direct. So I'm pretty sure we did not upgrade the system at the city hall. So by upgrading all this building to that kind of a panel, it's kind of useless in our opinion because it doesn't talk to each other anymore. We have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is the first time we talk about it. And we look at the fees that we're charging for all the customers, not just the city building, city-owned building. A lot of businesses, a lot of apartments, they're connected to the fire hall. So at that time, we're charging a fee and have the panel connected direct to the fire hall. Used to be charging the fee, but after we done the study, the fee is so low, we were never able to recoup the money for maybe 100 years. That's why we dropped that. We said that we no longer provide the service. But yet the city will continue upgrading the panel, which is not talking to the fire hall. So we did not suggest you not to continue explore other options. I get that point, Councillor Shaw said. It's not about the company, it's not about reliability or all that. We just talk about bang for the money for taxpayers. When there is an alternative out there, which is way cheaper, and that will do a lot of things compared to the old-fashioned way, why not, right? That's all we talk about. I'm not disagreeing, I'm not against about having to upgrade the library or TRCC or any city hall, city-owned building. But we have to be efficient and more technology. Because it's 21st century now, and the panel we spend the $14,000, to me, it's not a lot of money. But the thing is, it doesn't functioning the way we want it to. So we still have to hire a third party to have those fire or smoke or sensor detecting on top of it. So that's the only thing we are talking about. So I would suggest to reconsider about that part, rather than because of Bison been doing other building, so we have to follow, and which is still not communicate with the fire hall. So I think that is not right. So my opinion is we should look into the other option and continue to have the service and provide the safety for everybody work under the city umbrella. Thank you.
You did. I'm in agreement with Bison. Because if we get somebody else, then they have to learn the whole system, they have to put in more hours and charge us more. I'm just in agreement with Bison.
Anybody else? Okay. All those in favor of,
Chair,
sorry,
record the vote, please.
pardon me?
Record the vote, please.
Yeah. Okay, I'd like to call the vote on, all those in favor? Okay. Opposed? Carried. 6.4. Resolution 2025-024. Be it resolved, the council award the contract for repairs to the wastewater treatment plant basin 2 and digester 1 and 2 to Lakeside Plumbing Incorporated for $108,675, taxes included, with funding to be allocated from the utility reserve. Administration.
So in 2023, digester number 2 aeration piping broke. It was repaired by our wastewater treatment plant operators sometime around May of 2024. Our treatment plant aeration piping in basin 2 and both digesters broke for what we appears to be to us caused by improper installation, and it wasn't caught during inspection during the construction of the wastewater plant. Other damages like broken diffusers, bent pipe supports, and various repairs were noticed once the basin was drained down. We had EDA Environmental come and do an inspection of our wastewater plant and the basins. So we contacted 3 vendors or contractors known to us that would do these type of repairs. Only one was willing to give us a quote. And that was Lakeside Plumbing. So because of the aeration piping, breakages, damaged pipe supports, broken diffusers, and sludge-filled piping, our plant cannot properly treat our wastewater and is no longer in compliance according to our environmental license. Our City of Thompson operators have been juggling the repair works to the basin 2 and centrifuging the treated waste in attempt at keeping the plant near compliance. There's only 3 of them that work at this plant. They're working a minimum 12 hours a day just to try to keep this plant running. So the Manitoba Department of Conservation Plan requires a weekly update on the repairs and what we're doing to bring the plant back into compliance. There's emails attached there as well from our environmental officer, as well as the quote from Lakeside Plumbing is attached as well.
Actually, there was a second book that was received for this work. Jet, because we have to bring in their sewer jet to clean up the area. And this work is before this work started, and then after it's finished, to do any other cleanup. And the cost for doing that is for travel accommodations and one day here is $18,685. And if they go over one day, it would be $7,590. So the total cost of these repairs is actually $129,775. I apologize, I didn't see the resolution until just now. So, and I looked at the utility reserve account, and that the cost for this would be covered, which sits at about $4.4 million currently. So I'm not sure if we need to bring a new resolution for the sewer debt costs, or if we can.
Thank you. I know this is urgent. So is there any way we can do a friendly amendment though with the money part and then just for the other portion into that resolution?
Yes, if someone if council will agree to amend the resolution to include the sewer debt costs.
What would you put the wording into the resolution?
Okay. So we need to amend this resolution to.
We have to put the wording first and then we do the amendment.
Councillor Lundmark. Can't hear you, Brian.
There we go. I couldn't turn off my mute. I was in agreement with making the change to the.
Okay.
But I'd also like to say that knowing the Environment Act and the Environment Act license, a major component of the wastewater treatment facility is aeration. It keeps the bugs alive that do all the work. And without it, you can't meet the licensing requirements. And it would also, more aerobic bugs you have, it would reduce the sludge issue that we have. I don't even know how it's working without the aeration. So this is a vital component, and there are huge fines if we don't do this. Plus, I can only imagine how much our staff are working when the facility is not operating properly. Anyway, I'd be in total agreement with getting this done as soon as possible.
Thank you. So, Councillor Chung.
Thank you. The question is it digester 1 and 2 both are not working right now or need the repair?
Both need a repair.
But it's still working right now,
As well as base number 2.
okay? It's not functioning well, right?
Not functioning properly.
Okay.
So, and this will be coming in another time. Once this is completed, we still have to drain down basin number 1, because we assume the exact same thing is happening there. We just can't take the entire plant offline at one time, so we're trying to piecemeal it so we can still do some sort of treatment. So we can try to, as best as possible, reach our compliance with our licensing.
So how much time do you need to do such a work?
So Lakeside Plumbing had a travel day, a day at work, and then they would be completed. They figure, I'm gonna say we're gonna need a couple of days for them to have it done, and then once it's all completed, it takes time to drain down a basin. I think it took us about 4 or 5 months just to get the basin completely drained down. Right. You gotta right to the bottom, and then you gotta suck out the bottom portion, right, just to get everything out of there. So it takes time. So, but the repairs we need done sooner than later, obviously, and then move forward to get us something.
So did Lakeside Plumbing did the job before?
We have had them work at our old wastewater treatment plant. They cleaned out our digesters there whenever we had issues. So we had originally contracted Arneson at the time, and they, almost the same thing as they've done this time, they passed the work off to Lakeside Plumbing for them. So we have used them before. We had zero issues with them. They were very professional, very, very quick, and knew exactly what they were doing. So we weren't disappointed when they really were willing to come back for us again. So, and they traveled up at their cost to come and see, to inspect, to look at our work, to provide us a quote. It was not that at our cost to come here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Councillor Valentino.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'm going to be supporting this, and I think similar to Councillor Lundmark's remarks with the Environmental Act, the fines that we would get, I think, on a daily basis would be horrendous. So it makes perfect sense that we move ahead with this and get this done as soon as possible. So I'll be supporting it.
Absolutely. Well, Winnipeg alone, I mean, Lyle and I were looking at it earlier. It's up to $1 million each occurrence, or $500,000 for each occurrence, and then increases. Councillor Saab.
Yeah, thank you. No, I mean, obviously I think we all have to support this. There's not much option on this. I just have a couple of questions just for our going forward plan. Mentioned in regards to the replacement reserve for future replacements. So currently in our overall financial structure, would we need to increase anything to be able to put what we need to put into those reserves to?
Go ahead. I was just going to say, in an ideal world, yes, please, but that's not going to happen. I'm sure if it's right, so we'll be probably getting some from our initial utility reserve. We do the same thing right now for our water treatment plant. We have a reserve for emergency in case one of the high level pumps go down or something that we need to replace right now. We have that one set aside. So we're just hoping during budget discussions that we can actually start that conversation. We look at something like that, especially with a brand new plant. Put $36 million into this plant to build it. Most components only have a 10-year life cycle, and some that we're replacing right now, we haven't reached those 10 years yet. We're already starting to replace, right? So we're just hoping that, but maybe then we can probably go further into where the money would come from. But
traditionally, we have funded the reserves from any surpluses that structure. And we have a requirement for disposal site. Place it when it's reached the end of its useful life, which I believe is 24. So we're putting money aside every year through the budgetary process to fund that reserve. And I'd like to take a look at setting forward a plan for the next couple of years to start funding the other reserves for replacement of major structures like this and others that maybe we did start the building reserve. We intended to use it since its inception every year for smaller projects and that's precluded any major contribution back to that reserve. So I think that we need to look at where we need to be in 5 years and 10 years on these buildings and start planning for money to be put aside.
Thank you. I just have one last follow-up question. Talk about the newness of the plant. And I know there were some language here that points towards it not being done by the first time. Is there not some options to also look at what we can have to seeing that we're not done with?
So warranty for a new build like this, 38 or $36 million, whatever it was, 1 year.
It's just 1 year.
1 year. You can buy a new car for 70,000 and then get a lifetime warranty, but you can spend 36 million and you're gonna get a 1 year warranty. However, that being said, because we feel it is some from construction, we are gonna gather all of our information, set it out for water service support for some project. I know there are discussions with Bird for other reasons as well, so we just wanted to add our 2 cents of our findings to them as well, so that they have that to go with the discussion. Potentially either with the engineering firm or the general contractor.
Yeah, the contractor that did this, be looked at twice next time, I would think, when they do it.
This was a Mazo water service board project, so all through that, right? So
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Councilor Wong.
Thank you. I think we should do the amendment first before we all debate. But anyway, I got the CFO help me to draft this amendment.
Okay, we're gonna do an amendment on the resolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whereas the service of unit jet is required to complete this repair at the cost not to exceed $16,275 for a total cost of $229,775. So be it resolved that fund for this repair be transferred from the utility reserve. There we go. And I'd like to speak as well.
Okay, so are you moving the motion?
I will make the
Motion, please, second. Councilor Saab. Pardon me. Okay, we're gonna vote on the amendment. All those in favor of the amending the resolution? Carried. Councilor Lundmark?
Yeah, thank you for amending that. I just wanted to add that this is another reason we're talking about having reserves. I couldn't hear all the conversation. This is another reason why we should have a separate utility from the city, right? Utilities is paid, and we have to request changes to the utilities board for any changes in what we charge. And we want to make sure, and I can't imagine how tough it is to separate staff that are doing City of Thompson work that is not a utility issue from other day-to-day work. And we need to be able to keep track of those things so that we can adequately provide the funding and the resources to run that utility properly and separately from the City of Thompson, because they're two separately funded things. anyway, it's something I guess that we're gonna have to work on, not this resolution, sorry, but I'm definitely for this and getting that wastewater treatment plant operating properly. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilor Wong.
Thank you, Chair. I think somehow we should look into this problem, because based on the language, exactly what Councillor Shaw said, the installer improper installation. So to me, the contractor should be paid for this bill and also not caught by all inspection, which is the oversight person, which is the water sewer board, which we pay lots of money to look into it. So it's a $36 million facility. I will not go to say, sit down and just bite the tongue and take the cost, because this is not just the first time happened. Before, there was not even functioning because of the temperature, and then we have to hire a sewer truck to pump all the solid daily. Those a lot of money. We don't even remember how much already. That was over $100,000 anyway. So all this together, we're talking about almost $500,000 extra. So somehow I think we should get the law, look into the contract, see what can we do about it to recoup this. Because God knows what happened later on. What else is happening? We have no idea. So there will be more and more coming. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you don't stay on top of this, later on, maybe half a year later, or maybe a year later, there's another disaster. Then what, right? Anyway, thank you. I will support this.
Okay.
We have no choice, and move on. Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor of the resolution as amended? Carried. Okay. 6.5. Resolution 2025-025. Be it resolved that council approved the 2025 membership fees for the Thompson Chamber of Commerce at a cost not to exceed $1,581, all applicable taxes included. Administration, council, all those in favor? Carried. Call for adjournment. Councilor McIver, Councilor Wong, all those in favor?
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, so.